start on a good note. It was a cracking game to watch.
Yeah, well, it was a great game of footy. Both teams could have or should have. One didn't. They thoroughly deserve it in the end. We give ourselves a great chance after a slow start. Probably hurt ourselves as much as they hurt us, to be honest, with some of our finish. But you know that's what happens in games of football. But it was. I just said to Fags as he left. It was just two pretty good young sides going at it pretty well, and someone has to win, someone has to lose. Unfortunately, they had enough in the tank in the last bit to get over the line.
Did it feel like a little bit like those second quarter misses? They were hard to understand, sort of from senior players. They came back to haunt you.
Oh yeah, well they always do a little bit, but you don't. None of the boys are trying to miss them. But yeah, that's what happens. You know, if you don't take your chances, you get yourself in a little bit of trouble. Look, but all those things aside, we got ourselves back in front by 10 points, and we should have been good enough to hang on. But to the Lions' credit, they had plenty of run left in their game, and we didn't go with them for that last 4 or 5 minutes.
It looked like, and I could be dead wrong here, but it looked like maybe you went defensive a little bit early.
You're dead wrong.
Yeah.
It's the second week in a row, really, that the Lions have just stormed home in the last couple of minutes. Do you know what they're doing right to get that?
Oh no, they've got some energy. That's pretty easy. We were storming home too, you know, at that point, and that's what happens when you get to whatever it was, 25 or 26 minute mark. You know, last week I went and watched their game last week. They only won that in the last 2 or 3 minutes. That's not storming. I wouldn't call that storming home. I'd say that's a bit of luck. You know, a little bit of goes your way. They were able to keep giving themselves chances, and they took them, and you know they converted their chances. So, you know, I think both sides were finishing pretty strong, and in the end, the side that does win looks like they're storming home, perhaps, but they were getting run over the top of perhaps early in that last quarter too.
Fairly confident you've got a Rising Star nomination coming away later.
Not sure. I think Fags might have give him the nod. I think so. If there's a better first year player play this round, they probably deserve it. But I don't think I'll see a better game.
Is that surprising from what you've seen from him?
No, God no. He's picked 5. Yeah, he's a pretty talented young person. He's an outstanding young person. But you know, as we've said all along, all 3 of our first round picks have all played at a ridiculously high level for young players, and you know, it doesn't surprise us. They get games on what they do over a period of time. And Conan tonight, he's been close. He's been close for the first 3 weeks. To be fair, he's nearly got it done, and tonight he really did get it done.
But it seems like stepping down from the captaincy. I don't know if it's got much to do with it, but Boak is in great form, isn't it, Travis?
Yeah, Trav's had a great start to the season. You know, so's the team. You know, bar that last 4 or 5 minutes, we've had a pretty strong start to the season, which we get that. But it takes different people, different games. Trav's been pretty consistent. You know, Rocky went down tonight, and Trav kept coming. You know, Ollie was back out there for the first time. He's building into the game. I thought Sam Powell-Pepper was outstanding too, and certainly from the second quarter onwards.
Is it? I mean, Fags kind of alluded to it's going to be a tricky game to review for him because he's won, but there's multiple areas where they probably shouldn't have won, and there's areas where so the review's going to be very mixed. Is it going to be a similar one to you? There's going to be lots of positives, but there's also negatives. Yeah,
I think that's important to remember. We've done lots of things right. There's some parts that we didn't get right. You know, clearly one of them was finish, and you know, in the last bit of the game we didn't quite get it right either. But I'm sure. I think both coaches, whichever one, you know, he was lucky enough to walk in here the winner tonight. I think both coaches could have flipped seats. You know, by the end of the night, it could have went either way. And you know, credit to them. They've got themselves on track and they're going okay. And they were good enough to win in a really close game of football.
You wanted to kick more goals this year, and I think you are. You are scoring higher, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think we are for sure. You know, I think we probably should have kicked a few more tonight.
But is the efficiency what you want it to be, or do you?
Oh no, it's not. Well, clearly, we didn't. We weren't as effective as we were. And we had those opportunities and the shots that we had. We probably should have produced 120 points, perhaps 115 points tonight. You know, we didn't produce it, but that was a bit like round 1 too. If I go back to round 1, I think something similar. We missed a lot of shots tonight. They seemed to be a bit easier.
Tommy obviously took that hit. He came back on the bench, but how is he?
Yeah, no, he's pretty good. You know, the hit and the doctors, they have to look at what they see, and they made a pretty quick decision that they weren't going to allow him to go back on there. But I'd say he's. Well, I won't make the prediction, but I think he'll be okay.
Yeah. And did Robbie come off late?
Yeah, he got a knock on his shoulder, but again, I don't think it's too much. But you know, when you play a combative game like that was tonight, we'll wait and see tomorrow. But I would suspect that we got through pretty good, bar Rocky's concussion.
Yeah. and Dan obviously seemed to come back from that hit to the ribs pretty
Yeah, it was a good hit.
good.
It was a good hit. Not sure where it came from, but it was good. But no, Dan played. You know, he played the rest of the game, so there was nothing wrong there.